up that are important and we're excited about. Next week, we have our garden and our plant sale. There was an announcement about it in the email, and it's also on our Facebook page. But there is a time for just the congregation to buy plants, and then it's open to the public after that. So please stick around next week to check out the plant sale. I think Steve Scott is running it, so that's super exciting. And then, of course, the most important thing is that if you are a member, or even if you were just interested or a friend of UUCC, our annual meeting is today after we have a little coffee and snacks at coffee hour. And so it's really important for everybody to come and find out what we did during the past year, vote on some things like our budget and our upcoming leadership. And so we need everybody to come to that meeting and be present and vote so that we can move forward in the next church year. So we're super excited to do that. And right now I'm going to have Steve come on up to talk to you about some things, including our Share the Plate sponsor this month.
Good morning. I'm Stephen Medeiros. I'm with the Share the Plate Committee. We gather in person and on Zoom each week. Here we gather our resources to sustain the work of this church and to share the abundance with community organizations, broadening the reach of our values. You can find the text to give number in the order of service or use your Realm app for electronic giving. Or you can share, your Share the Plate offerings and pledges may also be dropped in the baskets in a few minutes as they pass. Our Share the Plate partner for the month of May is Habitat for Humanity. And if I can please introduce, let's welcome Daphne to give us words of what Habitat for Humanity does for the community. Welcome, Daphne.
Thank you for inviting me here today. I work at Habitat for Humanity. I'm the development director there. So Habitat for Humanity, our mission is to build homes, communities, and hope. And I know Dan was here recently and spoke about our the houses that women built. So we're building 3 homes, building 2, rehabbing another. And I wanted to talk about our programs that we have at Habitat. We have our repairs program, which we're able to help homeowners that need some assistance getting things fixed around their homes. If a furnace goes out, water heater goes out. Lately, it's been a lot of mobility needs in the community. So ramps, grab bars, walk-in showers. And we partner with them to get those needs met in their house. We do ask for like a small fee if they are able to pay something when they get those repairs done. We also have our Blueprint for the Future program, which we partner with the local high school to work with the high school students to help build our houses. This is a fun one because it's high school students. But it's neat to see, we were kind of reflecting over the last year of the students being on site, and they actually got to see it like the foundation all the way to we've got siding and drywall, and they're getting to start those finishing touches. So it's really cool that they've gotten to learn all that through the last year. And then we also have the Fresh Start program, where we partner with 9 local agencies here in Cheyenne to give out vouchers to people coming out of homelessness, domestic violence, and they're in recovery. And they can purchase things in the Restore to furnish their homes. So this one's kind of a personal favorite of mine. I've worked with the homeless in Cheyenne for close to 10 years, and it's always kind of disheartening to see someone kind of finally get into an apartment and they're living out of bags and totes. And so this allows them to set up a kitchen table, to get a couch, put clothes in a dresser and really make a safe spot for their family, make a comfortable spot. So that one has been just my favorite, being able to partner with these local groups and give those vouchers out. So we're also always seeking volunteers and would love to have a group from your church out on the Build site this summer. That'd be awesome. So thank you so much. Yeah, I don't know if you guys ask questions or not, but. We do. We're working on building 2 new houses and rehabilitating a house. So this is our first rehab. It's been a learning curve for us. You'd think it's easy going in and, flipping a house, but it's not. Any other questions? Thank you. Thank you again. Yeah. Oh, so to be on the Build site, you do have to be 16 and up, right? It looks like you might have a little ways, but, and that's for OSHA reasons, safety. We don't want anyone to get hurt, and it would be unfortunate to lose a limb. So, yeah. Oh, I love it. There's other ways that our young people can volunteer. We're actually trying to get a program started because we do have a lot of young people that are interested. So we're trying to get creative ways to do that. Thank you.
We are in for a real treat this morning. We have a very special guest this morning with us, joining us. His name is Jim Scott. He is a composer, guitarist, and singer. His songs are in our UU hymn books, including Gather the Spirit, which I know is one of my favorites. And he's toured the country for nearly 4 decades, playing at over 700 UU churches. As co-chair of the UU Ministry for the Earth, Jim helped create the Green Sanctuary program and received a grant from the fund for Unitarian Universalism to assemble the Earth and Spirit Songbook, a great contribution to our worship and RE resources. Formerly a member of the Paul Winter Consort and co-composer of their Missa Gaia, Earth Mass, Jim has gone on to record a number of CDs of his original music and publish a growing line of choral works. He won the UU Silliman Anthem contest for his piece, I Am Waiting. We can thank him by visiting his table with CDs and books at coffee hour. After hearing him today, I'm sure you'll want to take some of his work home with you. We will celebrate the earth with Jim's original songs, readings, and personal reflections on Mother Earth, or Gaia, being one living organism. Our spiritual response is so timely now, as the spirit of the earth is in crisis. Jim's uplifting songs provide the balance to the wake-up call, leaving us with vision and inspiration to take the healing into our own hands. From his work with the Paul Winter Consort, where he was composer of the celebrated Missa Gaia Earth Mass, he's long been an activist for peace and the earth with his music. Jim?
Thank you.
You bet.
twine this morning. Lots of opportunities for you to join in. I've been singing this song for many decades since I first joined the Paul Winter Consort. I didn't write it. It's been attributed to me many times, but I didn't write it. A great Brazilian composer, Ivan Lins, wrote this melody, and he let us put new English words to it. And I got to sing it. You can help in 2 languages like this. In a circle of friends, in a circle of sound. Try that much. In a circle of friends. This means friends. In a circle of sound. All our yikes. You go ahead. All our voices will blend when we touch common ground. Voices are calling round the earth. Music is rising in the sea. The spirit of morning fills the air, guiding my journey home. Where is the path beyond the forest? Where is the song I always knew? I remember it just around the bend. In the village, the music never ends. In a circle of friends, in a circle of sounds, all our voices will blend when we touch common ground. Voices are calling round the earth. Music is rising in the sea. The spirit of morning fills the air, guiding my journey home. Here is the path beyond the forest. Where is the song I always knew? I remember it just around the bend. In the music, the village never ends. In a circle of friends, in a circle of sounds, all our voices will blend when we touch common ground. Thank you. I think you can do that. I'm new here. Sometimes we pass laws about that. I know. We light a chalice at the commencement of our spiritual gatherings. Sometimes even at business meetings, we light a chalice. At camps and conference centers, wherever you find UUs, you're going to find a chalice or several. I know people who travel with chalices. I haven't quite ascended to that myself. Yes, if you would handle the sacred matches while I talk, and that'd be, hi. Oh, good, a child with an interest in fire, that will be good. It's a symbol of our free faith, our free search for faith, we say. our free lack of faith, as some have put it, and it is symbolic of our Unitarian Universalist journey to find the truth. We say we don't have to agree to be together. And we have principles that guide our work, and we vote on those principles at our democracy being one of the principles, democratic general assemblies. And now there's even discussion that we forget the listing them as 7, 8, now 8 principles. And we say it another way, because that's the way we do things. We're constantly evolving, and everyone is welcome. So thanks, you. Give us that. Hard to get in there. Get it. And I'm delighted. I forgot to bring the strap to stand up with the guitar, so I'm going to need to sit down for this. But it's my entree to UU Churches. It's number 347 in the hymn book, or her book, or their book, or however we do it here. That's a little UU joke on Nick. This song has introduced me to UUs everywhere, and I find I'm number 347 at the General Assembly or some meeting. Someone will say, "Oh, there's Jim Scott. Oh, Florence, this is number 347." So that's me. I'm going to sing you the latter part, the chorus, sort of the song as an intro, if I might. And may we stand as willing and able. So I'll sing the chorus for you, and that'll just be me and the people who weren't paying attention. And then we'll start at the beginning. And gather, where's the note? Gather in peace. I was kidding, you can sing too. Gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion and strength. Gather to celebrate once again. Join us at the beginning. Gather the Spirit, harvest the power. Our separate fires will kindle one flame. Witness the mystery of this hour. Our trials in this light appear all the same. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion and strength. Gather to celebrate once again. Gather the spirit of heart and mind. Seeds for the sowing are laid in store. Nurtured in love and conscience refined, with body and spirit united once more. Gather in peace, gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion and strength. Gather to celebrate once again. Gather the Spirit, growing in all, drawn by the moon and fed by the sun. Winter to spring and summer to chorus of life, resounding as one. Gather in peace, gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then, gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once again. We are gathered once again in that dangerous bastion, the church that threatens family values, the church that wants to undermine the authority of the Father, the church that has half forgotten the Creator in its pagan worshiping of the creation, the church that those right-wing radio ministries have warned us about, this church of bleeding heart liberalism, some thinly veiled front for leftist politics, of homosexual propaganda. I like it here. The church that assures you won't be going to hell no matter what you do in this life. And the church that often leaves the first few pews open for the diversity we're sure is going to show up. We're open to it. The church of practicing witches whose very assertion they don't believe in any devil confirms they must be accomplishing some of his work. And the church that sings carefully, not sure if there are any words we can totally subscribe to and not be questioning ourselves tomorrow or in the next worship committee meeting. The church that is not sure if there is in fact anything that we can celebrate with that passion and abandon those other churches hold for Jesus the Savior, Son of God the Father. Although something lurks in us, we might be missing out on some of their fun. It is that search for ecstasy, enlightenment, and other things, including free coffee, which is often the only thing whose origins we don't question, that brings us together. This is my church and I'm a zealot. This is the church that says to everyone, you're not only welcome, but we need you and your creative input in our continuing, dynamic, and evolving culture. Diversity is a strength, a survival mechanism we believe in. We face the challenge of weighing new and ancient wisdom in our search for guidance in this life, as well as the continuing creation of our own mythology. It's not an easy job. And we come together in meetings like this to offer each other ourselves for sustenance. Well, that's about what it says here. But I'm reminded of the first minister I got to know. I went to the Universalist Church of Norwell, Massachusetts. I'm so old it's before the merger. This minister was a bombastic kind of guy, and he would say, well, that's about all I had to say. But I'm not going to stop now. Yay, something's going to happen. And I just want to what's the word, paraphrase. I said in there, you won't be going to hell no matter what you do in this life. And that is not a fundamental, that is a basic principle of universalism that Mr. Murray, a long time ago, said this idea of hell, let's just leave that out. And the dissenters, the Protestants, the protesters of the Church of England, went off and did other things in all different directions. And we got a whole bunch of denominations. The Unitarians said, for one thing, there's just one great mystery. All your angels, archangels, sub-gods, everything, we're not buying into that. There's one great thing we don't understand. And then I remember, this is what I wanted to say, I remember leaving that tall, narrow church with a spire, an old New England church, and my dad, taller than I am, deep voice, I had him for math in high school, he says, I guess hell had been brought up. I think it was in a song, the Saved from the Fires of Hell. It was in our old hymn book. And he said, we Universalists don't believe that a loving God would sentence us to an eternity of hellfire and damnation. That was a liberating thing to find out at however old I was, 6 or 7 years old. And that is the gift we give to our children, to question that bombardment of common accepted knowledge that gets out there and sneaks into everything that might have a little racism, classism, sexism in between the lines, some hate somewhere, that we are saying we're gonna try to do without that, do as best we can. Thank you for listening to that. It's very therapeutic to drive a long way and get people to pay attention to you. So. I wrote this song with a bunch of kids, and I see some people under 21 in front of me this morning. Kids might be used to coming up front, but I kind of got a song to sing here, and maybe it's fine if you stay where you are with your big people, because kids learn faster, I've found. Anybody in second grade out there? Anybody in second grade? Used to be in second grade? It was a good year. Pretty smart in second grade, I found out. We wrote this song together. They told me all about the rainforest, and they knew all about it. They told me about the animals. There's a lot of animals in the song, and they told me about the 4 levels of the rainforest, which was news to me, but I thought we should put it in the song. So the 4 levels are in there. They go by fast, and then we see how they all go together. On the ground level, turtles and leopards and snakes live in the shelter the understory makes. The ground is so soft and the air is so clear, with 300 inches of rain every year. Oh, let the rain feed the thirsty ground. Sing me the song of life you sing, such a beautiful sound. Does that sound like a participatory chorus to you? With 4 notes, oh, let the rain, you can sing it, feed the thirsty ground. Sing me the song of life, sing me the song of life you sing, such a beautiful sound. And down in the ground, the worms and the ants nurture the roots of the flowering plants. And up in the canopy, life is a breeze. Orangutans swing from the limbs of the trees. Oh, let the rain feed the thirsty ground. Sing me the song of life you sing, such a beautiful sound. Now while some of us sing that part, we need some others of us to sing another part that goes, rain come down, rain come down. You can do it, rain come down. If you got a higher voice, rain come down. Oh, let the rain come down, feed the thirsty ground. Sing me the song of life you sing, such a beautiful sound. And the third verse is, high up above, where the toucans fly, emergent treetops reach into the sky. There's more kinds of plants than anyone knows. Look out, there's a sloth hanging by her 3 toes. Oh, let the rain feed the thirsty ground. Sing me the song of life you sing, such a beautiful sound. Oh, and about this point, I'd like to put in the pop quiz. Rain come down. Oh, what were those What were those 4 levels of the rainforest? Well, this is the way I remember it. Rain come down. My musical memory device. There's the understory. Understory goes up and down. Understory. The understory and the ground level. You can be the ground level. The ground level, or the understory, or the ground level canopy, ground level canopy. Find your level canopy, the understory, and the emergent, emergent. Oh, there's the ground level and the understory and the emergent under the canopy, emergent, emergent canopy, ground level and the under the chorus. Oh, let the rain come down, feed the thirsty ground. Rain come down, the rain come down. Na, na, na. Boy, I'm running out of voice. Rain come down, feed the thirsty ground. Sing me the song of life you sing, such a beautiful sound. Rain come down, rain come down, rain come down, rain come down. Well, what that shows me is there's all this stuff going on all around us, up in the air and down in the ground and down in the water. All around us are all these things that are working together that help keep us going. One word for that might be harmony. I like that because I'm a musician. The harmony of nature, we've heard that. But another word for it just might be peace. And kids, I hope kids today will find a moment of that peace. Big people too. And kids, I believe, are going to go off and do something more fun now. Is that right? Are kids leave or? Is that? Did somebody say no? Oh, okay. Well-behaved, mature kids are welcome to stay for the whole service today. And thank you. We'll try to make it interesting. And I'm new here and I've lost my little piece of paper. Here we go. It's one of my favorite things we do, to share our joys and concerns, to share our stories of our lives until churches get so big that we have to do this in a less personal way. So I love to share our milestones, our rites of passage, and our joys and concerns. And would you like to?
Okay. Okay, I have them here.
I'm not only getting used to being a mile high, but I'm, we have to remember to keep drinking water, don't we? Stay hydrated.
So first of all, thoughts for Mr. Mike, who had hip surgery Thursday. That's Mike Lammers. He's doing great with us and he's with us on Zoom, and he is welcoming visitors. There's a request for thoughts and prayers for Annalise Todd, for her health, for Danny Rosler. Let's see here. Andrea's family. Was it your mother, Andrea? Oh, Andrea Shipley. I think it was her mother. Prayers for student protesters. Lives of those in conflict zones, okay. And Carol's mother, Carol Jean's mother, I believe. Healing blessings for Chris Allen after his second hand surgery, and our deep thanks for all his work on the AV tech. Gratitude to the UUs who planted trees with Rooted in Cheyenne on Saturday. Blessings to our Voices of Faith participants who were in Cheyenne this week with the Wyoming Interfaith Network. Julianne, I think Joey offered this. Julianne, Angela, Sharon, and Lori served 53 guests at Kamea last night, so thanks to them. And I have one that says, "For the light of my spirit." Thank you for the light of my spirit. Okay, are there any others? Oh, okay. Okay.
With every story told, our friendship becomes art. Each passage of life is a gateway to the heart. We are one in joy and sorrow, and the music of our learning is danced in love and harmony with each day of Earth's turning. I have a great friend. She used to be my manager some time ago, well, several decades back. And she is very Christian, I'll say. And I honor that. I think some of the things she thinks of in one way, I take as poetry or something, but I can honor all of that. But she got me started. She said, and so there's a poem coming here, a bit of a rant. She said something about God and, asking God for help and God will help. And I had just seen something on Facebook. I said, is God just for humans or is it, oh no, for everything, for all of nature, then mosquitoes too and everything. And oh yes, because I saw on Facebook, someone said, oh, your 20-year-old ancient companion, your dog left us, died the other day, and I'm so sorry. What a wonderful companion! But I'm sure she's up in heaven, happily chasing squirrels. Heaven's not so good for squirrels, I guess. So it's funny how we work with our minds, not as big as they might be sometimes. And I said, well, is it God for just us, or here, this one little planet, or the whole universe? Oh yes, the whole universe. Really, do you have any idea how big that is? Because we're sure there's life out there somewhere. We'll probably never see it, but oh yes, it would be. Wow, she's busy. You might have heard a couple of years ago, these two black holes collided in space, and it has taught us some great stuff. Einstein and others were telling us this before, but now it proves some things that we know. So here's my poem. Oh God of the two black holes, that collided 2 billion years ago, but we just felt it now because it was so far away. And God, of the 275 million or so stars that will be born today on this Earth day, and again tomorrow. And God of this little star, with 8 or 9 planets, depending on who's counting. And God of this little planet, are you the same God of the elements of water, air, fire, and earth, and of viruses and bacteria and DNA, of photosynthesis and contagion and immunity, of growth and struggle, of suffering and surviving, of crimes and mistakes, of wounds and of healing? God of evolution, diversity, nature, and lately humanity, of civilization, agriculture, fossil fuels, and plastic. God of science and nonsense. God of truth and lies. God of war and oppression, enslavement, genocide, the refugees, the dispossessed, the lost, the broken. God of hate and anger, and right behind them, hiding right behind them, fear. God of amends and compassion, of cooperation. Now this is important, of cooperation. God of memory, stories and lessons, of art and expression, of sharing and understanding, of love. Was love involved back there with the 2 black holes? And God of this little world, are you the same God for this little group, on this little part of this little ball, that has brought us again the leaning toward the sun, the changing of the seasons, awakening again that lust for life, adventure, exploration, risk, ecstasy, awareness, and aging, and enlightenment, where all our mistakes of the past become the compost for the fertile earth from which all is made anew. You still there? I know this is getting long. God of the senses, of beauty, of sorrow and elation. God for that one particular species with the power of language and learning, the powers of creativity to have made you in our image. It was the least we could do and the best we could do, and with our small minds, who don't even know your name. We fight about that. Who in this last flash of time have come to some little perspective on the whole thing. We're working on it. God of the wisdom of matter and energy trading places, of big bangs and expanding universes, and benign lack of oversight and trust in the evolution of things to have let us go here with Eden. And maybe the same, but different, on lots of other planets, in 500 billion galaxies, hundreds of billions of stars in each, 1 in 6 stars with planets around them. The odds are pretty good, God, of trillions of springs at this very moment. Thanks for all this. Books have been written studying all the revolutions, yeah, that slipped out. All the religions of the world. It turns out that spiritual practice is good for us. People live longer, happier, healthier with a spiritual practice, and it seems pretty much any spiritual practice. The thread that goes through these spiritual practices is gratitude. Gratitude for another sunrise, another day to be together. And I know Unitarian Universalists are we're big on gratitude. It's just a problem for some Unitarian Universalists because we're not sure who to thank. Far beyond the grasp of hands, or light to meet the eye, past the reaches of the mind. There find the key to nature's harmony in an architecture so entwined. Like the birds whose patterns grace the sky and carry all who join in love expanding. The message of peace will rise in flight, taking the weight of the world upon its wings. In the oneness of everything, peace is in the dance of trees who stir before the first breath of wind is yet perceived. Trust in the song, becoming one with the dance, and all mysteries can be believed. Songs of lives long past that touch our own are written in the earth, forever giving. And now to maintain the harmony gives to us all lives worth living. For the oneness of everything. Still we seek to find a truth that we might understand and reduce to terms defined, vast and immeasurable time and space, also overwhelmingly designed. Oh, passing years, just might I know the faith that winters in the heart, to be reborn in spring, to hear and to feel the pulse of life enters my soul as a song to sing of the oneness of everything. I have some other words to say. I write songs and I have words left over. So don't worry, this is not a whole big long sermon. I'm gonna, I've already gotten, I like to, think that I'm getting my sermon in song and in some poems and things. But here's the picture. There is no doubt life out there in the universe, but all we really know about life is right here on this little planet. And we know a lot more about it these days. In my lifetime, we've come to know a lot more about the earth, about DNA, all kinds of other things, to realize that we're related to broccoli. And this makes me happy. With the Paul Winter Consort, I got to make we collectively made a big piece of music that was referred to before, thank you, the Missagaya Earth Mass. Now, we did this in the Cathedral of St. John in New York, which is an Episcopal Anglican cathedral, so they do masses. Now, I'd never been to a mass, but I learned about it in music history class because there are thousands of masses musical masses that are like symphonies or concertos. It's a type of a piece of music that we study, you know, Bach's B minor Mass and so on. Amazing works of art. I don't exactly buy into all the words that are in there, I'll admit, but I think it's a beautiful expression. So Missa is Latin and Gaia is Greek, but who knew that? It sounded good. The Missa Gaia was named after, or got this name from James Lovelock, a scientist. His book that came out about 40 years ago, his Gaia hypothesis, he says hypothesis because he's a scientist, that the Earth, using Gaia, kind of a Mother Earth figure in the Greek mythology, though she has her vengeful side, all those gods and goddesses, you know, they do all the silly things that humans do too. But Gaia is kind of this Mother Earth figure. I didn't know Gaia. I'd heard of Zeus and Neptune and others, but until this book came out, and Paul Winter handed it around to people, you got to read this. James Lovelock's Gaia hypothesis, using this Greek goddess to personify for us that the earth is one living thing. The earth is, we could think of the earth as one living organism. And all these things that have evolved over several billion years now, from the first little chance combination of chemicals that then formed a cell. And that went on for a while before cells learned to replicate. And then when one cell occupied another cell, that started everything we know, from bees to trees and all of life. That's when that started happening. This all happened in the ocean, in shallow waters. Some things went down, some things went up. We went up. So I said, we've learned a lot in my lifetime about the earth. I was born after World War II, that's ancient history to me, but not long after World War II, when the human cities, many human cities of the earth were in ruins. Still, the wild areas, jungles and rainforests that we'd been warned for a long time, they were still holding on pretty well. Nature was holding on pretty well. But now, in my lifetime, there are 3 times as many people and 1/4 of the insects. And about, scientists say, about 40% of measurable wild nature that we had back when I was born. This cannot go on. This has to stop. We have to figure out how to stop this. The word is sustainable. It is not sustainable. The sheer biomass of humans and their leverage, that's an economic term, if you know. Some people like the ex-president running again. Leverage. You know, they don't really have money. They've just learned to leverage debt and all of this. And I don't know, where do you go to learn that? I'm gonna try not to learn that myself. Scott Nearing, a wonderful environmentalist who lived to be 100 years old. And he said, I think 100 is enough. And he stopped eating. And he just went. His wife was, I think, 12 or 15 years younger. She went on until almost 100. Helen Nearing, they were real environmentalists. They wrote books about the simple life. It's not that you're going to give up stuff. We're going to have to surrender our lifestyle. But take a good look at these things that are just not good for us and see if you can leave them out. And so they had lived in Vermont, then they moved to Maine. If you ever heard of them, Google that if you want to. But I'll say, we're in trouble. There's more that I could read to you here, and I'm not going to bore you with that. Well, I'm not going to, I don't think it's boring. I don't want to upset you with it either. But, you know, I'm usually preaching to the convicted, you know, as they say, the converted, the convicted. We all know this. We know we're in trouble. So what are we going to do about it? We just have to stop doing what we're doing. some of those things. Now, this is hard for me because I read a lot. I know what's good for me, what'll make me live longer and happier and so on, healthier, and I don't necessarily do it. Why is that? I must be an addict. I must be messed up. I must be alienated, wounded, separated from the very powers that would heal me while I fill that emptiness with any kind of immediate gratification and diversion, while the spirit of life on earth is dying. We're killing the ocean so fast that some say that this will be quicker than climate change. It'll be quicker than, and we're worried about, air pollution, the loss of soil capacity, water pollution, all of those kinds of things, the disappearing divergence of species. We had all those until climate change came in and took all the headlines. And, the United States leads the world in ignorance about climate change. Half of our Congress denies climate change, while just about any other country in the world, conservative, liberal, anything, are pretty clear that climate change is happening. And there are places now that are uninhabitable. And there's the largest immigration fleeing from wars and environmental catastrophes that we've ever seen on this earth. Only one thing to do: stop what we're doing. And I said it's hard for me. I could have said you. And here's what gets me up in the morning, and how I don't get depressed and discouraged by this, because I have my work to do about this. I feel I've written a lot of songs about the earth, and I didn't know that I had this job until it kind of added up. And now I have this persona of this, that's the guy who writes songs about the earth, and also other stuff. Peace, I like that too, and things like that. Can I mention, my son is my greatest teacher. My son was born a girl, and I've learned, and I have preached and talked also about LGBTQIA plus consciousness for some time. I was part of creating this, our green sanctuary, which was just a group of people around a table at a General Assembly at first, and now it is institutionalized. And our dreams can manifest. We can do this. And the big thing we learned from the pandemic is, as unequal and unfair as it may have been in rich countries and poor countries and all that, we learned that we can respond as one world to a problem. We got to figure out how to do that justly, but we can do it. And there is now no other solution but to respond with world law, to say you can't kill the ocean. The pirate ships with slave labor that provide us a lot of the fish we eat, and the giant factory in China that uses slave labor from North Korea that comes to work in China, brings us fish in many of our restaurants and so on. Some of this is almost too hard to grasp, but to try to figure out how we're going to stop doing what we're doing. Bill McKibben, if you've heard the name, says, a great environmentalist, says, these guys in the shadows, and mostly guys, I will say, they sell us personal responsibility, and they'll be very happy if you're content with picking up trash on the highway and recycling. What we have to do is get them to stop doing what they're doing. Less than 100, however you want to count it. I said that wrong, the 70 is coming. Less than 100, maybe 80, 90 giant corporations of the world cause over 70% of the pollution and toxic destruction of the earth. And they say, oh, we're just giving people what they want. Well, they're not. And we need to tell them that they're not. This is difficult. Maybe, refusing to buy certain things. I think some of us are old enough to remember plastic, that water was not packaged in plastic. What an idea. What a scam. It was mineral water that was sparkling, and it was in bottles, and it was a high-end thing. And then Coke and Pepsi got in there and a few others. And wow, we can just put water from a tap in a bottle and sell it to people. Isn't this amazing? What did we do before that? In one sizable handheld bottle of plastic bottled water, there are 240 or so, maybe 250,000 microplastics. They're microplastics. You don't see them. In the ocean, the plastic that's in the ocean is dissolving into, not into little particles, but then beyond that, into a fog. It is everywhere. It is in fresh water, salt water, in freshwater fish. It's almost like drinking toxic water now. Farming fish was a terrible idea. It's really, well, it could be done, but it isn't done right. It is done in a horribly polluting way. And half of that plastic in the great plastic garbage patch, they call it garbage, being a slightly misleading term, but that patch, it's bigger than Texas out there in the Pacific Ocean. Oh, now it's bigger than India in the Pacific Ocean. Who will clean that up? That plastic is dissolving. Volcanoes in the ocean melt the plastic and it becomes rock. There's a new term, plastiglomerate. In forest fires and things. Now, plastic is in rock. 1 million years from now, whoever's here and finds what we leave behind is going to say, wow, those people. So here's that Gaia idea. And I say that I interrupted myself there and I didn't read this. And I'll stop after this. The earth, Mother Earth, shall we say, Gaia. Is she a goddess? Well, I think she's our ancestor. Mother Earth, over billions of years, modeled all the stuff that we have. Where did we get it? Well, we got it from our mother, from our ancestor. When we took our jangled masses of protoplasm and left the ocean and began to think we were separate, we had these models of a breathing system. The green things out there, they breathe out and we breathe in. So the circulatory system of the earth, the water cycle, carries the nutrients, carries away waste to be processed if the earth can do it. And the belly of the earth, even though I want to say the digestion of the earth, the soil, things, I know entropy, things break up anywhere. Look that up, kids. But we say figuratively, back to the earth. Things go back to the earth and are rejuvenated. But we have now done stuff that has half-lives of thousands of years that's in everything. It's in us. I had a list. I don't want to read you the list. The things, strontium-90 is in us, PCBs, DDT, PBAs, bisphenol, now PFAS in our poisoning our water, on and on and on. The plastic companies must be stopped. It's going to take world law to do it. Only number 1 and number 2 in the little triangles can be recycled. It's a lie they've been telling us to recycle all those other ones. And they say, oh, we're gonna fix that soon. No, they're not, until we make them do it. And things have to be made out of the recyclable plastic and not the other. There's all these different kinds of plastic. So, and now plastic could be made from growing things rather than fossil fuels, so on and so on and so on. I'm optimistic about the scientific things that we can do to solve the problem. But the main thing is we've got to change our lives. And I find it hard to do by myself. That's why we have a community where we can, a church, I believe, is this church is a green sanctuary, is that right? Or we, I know, visiting here before, I know there was a committee, and whether you have the plaque on the wall or not, it's the stuff that we do in our spiritual journey to do this. There's nothing short of healing to describe what we're after. It's our children, it's our job and our children's job of healing the earth and each other. I know we're a little over time, thank you. Being a musician first, I want to end with this song. It's an old Russian folk song. Other people, aside from us, I say we, the Paul Winter Concert, we tried to figure out who actually might have written this. Maybe it's Russian Jewish and it was extracted from the culture back in the communist era, but it would sound like this in Russian. Наши жизни мы должны соткать из света звук, пропеть его в ночи, чтоб звезды слушали во сне и хоровод водили в тишине. Isn't that nice? Everybody! I love to do that. Somehow it went from Russia to Brazil. I'm not sure what happened. I made a different translation from it than what some people say they learned at camp. And I got carried away and added 2 verses. My wish for you, as now we part, is for greater peace to fill your heart with dreams as vast as starry space. So hurt and anger know no place. May truth be shared and wounds be healed, and joy for living be revealed. Through every fate and circumstance, may hope lead weary steps to dance, and may your life be as a song, resounding with the dawn, to sing awake the light, then softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night. And may your life be as a song. Try that. And may your life be as a song. I forgot, this is in our teal hymn book. This is number 1059, and I don't know, did we pass those out or are they here? I jazz it up a little bit. It's a little more syncopated the way I sing it. 1059. And may your life be as a song. Let's keep going. Resounding with the dawn, to sing awake the light, then softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night. And may your life be as a song, resounding with the dawn, to sing awake the light, and softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night. Now this turns out to be a 4-part round. Ha ha ha, but I know we can do it in at least 2 parts if you'll self-select. You know who you are. If you can sing the second part, I'll show you where it starts. And if you're unsure, stick with me. And may your life be as a song, resounding. And may your life be to sing awake the light, softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night. Ever dance, and may your life be as a song, resounding, and may your life to sing awake the light, then softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night, ever dancing circles in the night, ever dancing circles in the night, ever dancing circles in the night. When Wisdom was a striking young man, he met a beautiful woman named Love. Now, I'm not really sure who was the man and who was the woman. Maybe they were the same sex. I'd like to keep you, said Wisdom. You can't own me, said Love. But I love you anyway. What would it cost to know you'd always be there, asked Wisdom. Don't ask such questions, said Love. Just look at the stars. Why? Wisdom pondered. Are they telling us something? Oh, chill out, chided Love, which made Wisdom happy in a funny sort of way. And so it was that Wisdom fell in love with Love. And thus became truly wise. Let's go in peace. Join us for coffee hour and analysis. Thank you very much, everybody. We forgot to extinguish the chalice, but it went out by itself. So we extinguish the chalice. Our time together comes to a close, and the service begins. Oh yes, I'm sorry. I'm new here. Okay, we just go.
Or the fire of commitment. These we carry within our hearts until we are together again.
Let's go in peace.